Hello, my name is Sylph, and that over there is Matt. And this week we have, like, quite possibly one of the funniest setups to a video we've ever had, like, premise to a video. You may have heard about this. The 2025 Virginia lieutenant governor's race involves the Republican John Reed and the Democrat Ghazala Hashmi. And John Reed wanted to do a debate with Ghazala Hashmi. So he asked her to do the debate, and she said no. So what did he do? What would a normal, sane person do?
Not do a debate?
Yes, right? Yeah, just
like run regular ads or something, you know?
Yeah. Maybe even say, like, my opponent won't debate me. She's afraid. You know, something like that.
Yeah.
What would an absolutely insane person do?
I don't know. Maybe create a ChatGPT avatar of your opponent to debate.
Ding, ding, ding. So that's what he did. He created this, like, fake version of her using some AI chatbot. We presume ChatGPT, but we're not sure. And debated that instead. So that's what we're gonna watch. This is this is gonna be hopefully hilarious. Hopefully it's not really boring, but here we go. Let's skip forward a bit. Reed challenges opponent to see. Yep, Hashmi rejected the challenge. Not to be deterred, Reed signals to his opponent that he would agree to debate her in a format of her choosing anytime, anywhere was the basic offer. Hashmi still refused. Of the 6 candidates for the election, only outright declined participation. Okay. In lieu of a formal debate, what you're about to see is the best possible alternative. Hold on. The best possible alternative? No. I don't think so. Whereby John Reed will respond to Senator Hashmi's publicized policy positions as mined from a variety of available sources with AI used to replicate Senator Hashmi's voice. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so what he did was he took her policy positions and gave that to the AI, and I presume so, like, I guess went on her website and just copy pasted her website into the AI and said, "You're a political candidate. Here's your positions. Now debate me."
No, that's not what he did. What he does is, from what I can tell, because I've heard other news sources on this, was that he basically went to their website, scraped the specific, like, policy position text from the website, and then just ran it through an AI to replicate her voice. So it's supposed to be exactly her policy positions in her voice. And that's it. There's not an actual debate.
Oh, really? Okay. So he literally just, like, he's debating her website.
Yes.
Okay. This is going to be interesting. This debate could have been an email, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Virtual debate? No, this is not a virtual debate. This is an imaginary debate.
Okay, hold on.
This unique occasion.
Is it playing?
Yeah.
For an exchange of ideas between the two candidates running to be the...
Okay, this is the moderator.
This is AI.
Notice something wrong about the moderator.
He's got 2 lapel mics. That's the first thing.
I think one is just a mic on a stand.
No,
right?
he's got a mic on a stand, but he's also got 2 lapel mics.
Oh, okay. Well, the other thing is, when you notice when you're playing it, this is the moderator and he's speaking without moving his face.
Yeah, he's AI pretty clearly.
Like, but it's not even the AI where they, like, add the mouth movements. Like, it's not that hard to do.
So it's not even Sora. It's just like a voice AI and an AI generated picture of, I guess, a moderator.
He does seem to have the right number of fingers,
First,
from what I can
true.
tell from this distance. So that's
Also-
something.
It's good to know he's married. You know, I really love to see when robots fall in love.
Right.
On Reed. Welcome, Mr. Reed. Next,
Okay,
the Democrats.
So I don't know if you noticed there, but he forgot to turn on his mic on a
did.
virtual debate that he's totally staging.
Also, holy cow, how much noise is coming from his mic? I guess maybe
well,
that
I
was
think
the
it's because he
studio mic?
didn't turn on his mic. I think later it goes away, but still, it's pretty bad.
Okay, so we heard a studio mic probably,
Yeah.
which is why the noise when it faded in, it was,
Yeah.
and then you just hear.
Yeah.
Candidate, State Senator Ghazala Hashmi. Senator Hashmi, are you there?
Okay, before this plays, I have seen this where she appears. Have you seen this?
I've seen part of it. I don't know if it's this specific one that they're about to show, but
Okay.
yeah, I think I have actually. Yeah.
Sylph to Bridge, please beam in the candidate.
That's right.
Here. Thanks so much.
Okay. First, let's get
She said, "I'm here. Thanks so much." That didn't come from the website. So is he typing
Okay,
what
so-
she's saying?
So I guess they type in like stuff. I guess from what I can tell, it's not. They didn't use ChatGPT to make her say anything she hasn't said. But they did like pass in text or something. So I guess they just did that with niceties or something. I don't know.
Okay. So see, the problem with this format is like, you could make her say anything. You could make
Oh,
her
yeah.
say like, "Boy, I just can't wait to eat all the babies in Virginia. I'm just gonna cook them all up in a big vat and eat them." And
Yep.
like, there's nothing that she could do about it because like you've deep faked her voice. So like, this
Right.
is extremely problematic.
Yeah.
to opening statements.
I really hope that no one takes this seriously.
I'm running to.
Oh, do you like the mic coming in?
That was
Governor
weird.
Because voters need someone who has the experience, knowledge, and ability to fight for Virginians, especially given the chaos coming out of
Okay, so this is from her website.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Washington. I have a track record with regard to the issues that Virginians care about: education, healthcare, housing, and opportunity. I am ready to make policy that will make Virginia an example for other states.
There goes my.
Mr. Reed, your response?
Well, it's
Wait, hold on. Okay, so we gotta.
Policy that will make Virginia an example for other states.
Mr. Reed, your response?
it's too bad that Senator Hashmi won't appear for a real debate. If she's not willing to engage in her own campaign for lieutenant governor, I don't know why anybody thinks that she'd be able to fight for anything.
So you like how the AI, the moderator has like nice lighting and an image and everything, and then the at least the part where Rashmi is doing her whole spiel, right? They have a nice photo of her with a microphone and everything, and then he's in this like terribly lit studio. Like, at least the sound's better now, right? Like they fixed the sound.
Yep, they did fix the sound. And I will say, he's wearing a very nice tie. But
Okay.
that could be AI. That
True.
could be, he could be AI. We don't really know. We know that he's willing to generate fake stuff. So maybe he's AI.
I'm pretty sure it's not AI because I think AI would have generated better image of him.
True.
And indeed, the things that she has fought for in the state Senate are the things that most Virginians don't like keeping the schools closed for an extra year, like pushing for boys and girls sports, advocating for men and women.
The fucking trans issue, man. Republicans
Just
are
transphobia.
obsessed with trans people. I don't
Yep.
understand. Like, how can you be that obsessed, absolutely fucking obsessed with a group of people that's like 0.5% of the population? How?
They think it's some sort of like winning move, I guess. I don't know.
Bigotry?
Bigotry.
I guess since they are just 0.5% of the population, it's like It's harder for them to fight back, but that's why cis people need to be on their side. You know,
Yeah.
we as cis people need to be defending trans people when people like this like denounce them without giving them a chance to speak. You know?
Yeah.
Spaces, higher taxes, releasing criminals early, everything that we would identify as a problem in the state of Virginia, Ghazala Hashmi has.
And that's one thing that I really fucking hate that Newsom did. You know, normally I do like a lot of the stuff that Gavin Newsom has done, but he went on that podcast with Tucker Carlson and he talked about trans people in sports and he just fucking threw them under the bus,
Yeah.
which is disgusting to me.
Yeah.
Pushed. Now, you compare that to me. I'm someone who has worked at the highest levels of the federal government as communications director in the U.S. Senate, as communications director at the United States Chamber of Commerce, working with business people all around the world and in the United States, from the Fortune 500 companies to the smallest mom and pop startups. I know what these businesses need to try to grow their business and increase jobs. And that will be one of my key priorities, not just gaveling in the Senate, not just working on legislation with senators, but advocating for the state of Virginia.
So Republicans love to say that they know how to create jobs, but every time that a Republican is in office, the jobs numbers go down. And every time a Democrat's in office, the jobs numbers go up.
Well, every time there's a Republican president, usually
Yeah.
by the end of their at least first term, there's a recession.
Mm-hmm. For my entire life, that's been true.
Yeah.
And with the chaos that Ghazala Hashmi references in Washington, D.C., and the fact that we're $37 trillion in debt, you need someone like me at the state capitol.
I mean, they're talking about like Virginia, lieutenant governor, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is he talking about the national debt for?
No idea.
Try to bring additional jobs to Virginia rather than burden businesses and folks who are trying to grow the economy.
Oh my God. This is the first time we've seen the whole shot. Oh
Yeah.
my God. He's literally debating a monitor.
Yep.
He's debating a podium with a monitor behind, or a lectern with a monitor behind it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So Republicans always talk about like Democrats burdening businesses, and that hurts jobs. But like, businesses need to be burdened with regulation, with a requirement to pay their workers a living wage, because if you unburden them, if you implement laissez-faire free market capitalism, you get monopolies, and monopolies inherently don't create jobs. And you know, they have a certain amount of jobs, but they don't grow the job market, and they stop innovation. They crush competition with unfair business practices. Monopolies are bad, and Republicans just want everything to be a monopoly. They look at Ticketmaster and they go, every company should be just like Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
And that's awful.
I want to clarify though, like these rules and stuff that we have for companies are not because they're monopolies, generally speaking, though sometimes we do. A big reason we have them is because they're doing crappy stuff, you know, and harming people. And so we have to put in these rules so they wouldn't harm people. That we're not burdening them because, oh, we just feel like putting a burden on companies. It's because they're harming somebody. Like the rule wasn't there before. Companies started harming people, so we put a rule in to keep them from harming people.
Yeah, like what are we going to do with all this toxic waste that we have if we can't just dump it into the drinking water?
Yeah.
Like you want us to process that correctly and dispose of it through proper channels? That's going to cost us money. And then we
Yeah.
won't be able to create all these jobs for the sick people that we create.
Yeah.
Not that we would create those jobs anyway, because it takes more jobs to do it right than if we just dump it into the drinking water.
Right.
Yeah.
Our first topical question tonight is about the economy. Virginia currently is one of the top 5 states for business, according to CNBC's annual economic report. However, with recent cuts to federal jobs, which have affected millions of Virginians,
Stiff moderator.
analysts worry about Virginia's economic stability going forward. What would you do to help bolster Virginia's economy as lieutenant governor?
So I don't even think that's an AI voice. I think that's someone actually speaking. It's just an AI avatar.
Well, wow. Okay.
Like the voice uses inflection in a very human-like way, but it could just be a really good AI.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be funny if they just had someone actually speaking, but they refused to show him on camera? They're like, no, we're putting up this AI generated avatar of
Yeah.
a
This
moderator.
guy looks a lot better than you. We're not going to show your face.
Yeah, you are way too ugly to moderate this debate. Sorry.
That's right.
Senator Hashmi?
I want to make sure that Virginia is prepared for the future as the economy, technology, and the workforce evolve. We need to expand access to quality childcare and make it affordable. Government should ensure that families have home health care and elder care. We also need to mandate that workers receive compensation at an acceptable level. I believe that a living wage is a fundamental right for workers and their families. Accordingly, we need to institute living wage here in Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is any of that unreasonable?
Well, she doesn't explain exactly how to do it, but all of it seems very reasonable. Living wage is important. Like a lot of Virginia is a big state, but they have a lot of stuff. Like they have Northern Virginia, which is basically a suburb of DC, and that's quite an expensive place to live and work. You know. It makes sense to be thinking about a living wage, particularly in that area, for the full state. But so if they are using like a really good AI voice generator for the moderator, they just completely dropped it for her, right? Like this is like no inflection at all.
Yeah.
Speaking.
Very monotonous.
Yeah, monotone kind of speaking.
But yeah, so I would like to see the Republican argue against, no, I don't think people should have a living wage. I think they should eat crumbs and die.
Yeah, and they
should have health care.
They shouldn't have health care. That's, nobody needs health care. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you go to the grocery store and buy a, tube of breadcrumbs. That should be enough for any Virginian.
There should be plenty.
Who's working. Yeah. Just because you're working, just because you're participating in the economy doesn't mean you should get to live. I mean, what kind of world would that be?
Right.
Mr. Reed, your response?
Well, how can you tell me that you know nothing about the economy and business without actually admitting you know nothing about economics and business? Senator Hashmi just did that.
Worst answer ever.
What the fuck does that mean? But see, you know nothing about economy if you expect that workers should be able to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only way to run an economy is if you kill your workers.
That's right.
That's the only way.
Right.
If you
make sure they don't
that,
have a living wage.
Yeah, like
or healthcare.
All throughout human history, if workers have been able to survive, society has collapsed immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice your worker, like on an altar, but like by constructing the altar, not
right.
by. We just keep constructing altars, and a bunch of people die along the way, and that's the only way it works.
It's called Aztec economics, right?
Yeah, like if your job, let's say, is to build a car, you should expect that you might get off like 4 or 5 cars before you perish in an industrial accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just starve to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because like that's the only way that the rich will continue to get richer. There's a fly.
Yeah.
I'm not going crazy. There's a fly in front of me.
Wage sounds good, but it doesn't accomplish anything except the loss of jobs. Mandating.
I'm sorry, did he just say a living wage sounds good, but it doesn't accomplish anything except the loss of jobs?
Yeah. Well, if you're
Excuse
like,
me?
if it's a job that you can't even like live off the income for, like, why, like, who wants that job?
Right? Like you're saying, well, the jobs have to be deadly. They have to be not enough to survive, or else you're going to lose that job. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, please.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have those jobs.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but companies should not be able to run paying slave wages.
Yeah.
You know, I thought we figured this out like 150 years ago, but I guess we didn't. So maybe we should let the Republicans know again. I mean, it wasn't the Republicans at the time, but it was these same people.
Yeah.
We should let them know again that you actually do need to pay your workers if you want the economy to work well for everyone. But they don't. That's the thing. They want the economy to work well for the rich.
Yeah.
You know, everyone else, they just want to be either barely surviving or not surviving. You know, as soon as you get sick, you're not helpful to the economy anymore. So you should die, according to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you catch a cold. Sorry, man, your time's up.
Yep.
You can't work for 2 weeks. Sorry, dude. No more bread for you.
Yeah.
That businesses provide child health care, child care and health care does nothing for the actual workers except cost them their job.
So I think I might agree that with him on that businesses should not be providing health care and child care. I agree.
Right.
For their workers. The government should be providing that.
Yeah.
So that it is available to everyone.
Yep.
If you are a student and you don't have a job, you shouldn't die if you get a little too sick.
Right.
You know, I'm just throwing out like just a crazy idea here, but maybe it would be better if being sick in the United States was not an immediate death sentence.
Yeah. On a related note, have you got your COVID shot this year?
Not yet.
You have decent like health insurance, right? Like not
I should.
like,
I pay $600 a month for it.
Health insurance. So you remember when the government was paying for the COVID vaccine, and like you just go there and like it didn't cost anything. You just got it. Well, now they're not paying for it anymore, and you actually have to pay for it. My insurance, like I don't know if it's going to cover it, but usually my insurance like pays me back after I get something like that. Usually for like when I pick up prescriptions. So I went and got my COVID vaccine, and guess how much it cost me?
A reasonable price would be $30. How much?
It was like $200.
What the fuck?
Right?
For one vaccine? Just you?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It's completely insane.
I swear, Americans just hate people. Republicans in particular.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
hate
luckily I had the
people.
money to pay for it, but that's insane amount.
Yeah.
Hopefully my insurance will reimburse me, but who knows?
Well, luckily you're rich enough to stay alive in the United States.
Yeah.
Yep.
Barely,
But God
but-
forbid anything happen to you that causes you to no longer be rich enough to live in the United States. Because if you get just a little too poor in the U.S., the Republicans want you to fucking die.
Right.
And it's
Canada
not
looks a
even like,
lot more interesting right about now, except it's winter.
it's
or
not
coming
even that
winter.
if you just like can't work, even if you can work, like what this guy is talking about is workers should not have a living wage, according to him.
Right.
Workers
Right.
should not be able to survive on their income from their work. Like a full-time worker who works for 40 hours a week should not be able to survive on the income from that work, according to this Republican right here.
Right.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
am of the opinion that if you run a company that cannot pay your workers a living wage, your company should not exist. You are a bad capitalist, well, you're not a bad capitalist. You're a great capitalist. You're just a bad person,
Right.
which oftentimes is one and the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, your company should not exist. You should not be in charge of a company. You're bad at doing it.
Yeah.
jobs. The solution here is to create non-government programs that enable and empower businesses and the individual employee.
So he wants to be a lieutenant governor, and he wants to make non-government programs. So he wants to do nothing. That's what it sounds like he wants to do.
Yep. The thing is, we already have that. We already have non-government childcare companies, childcare businesses. Like there are private daycares.
Yeah.
We already have that.
You have to be very rich to afford them.
Yeah. That's the thing is like they're not available to most people because most people can't afford them. And this guy specifically wants most people to not be able to afford them because he just said he doesn't want you to have a living wage.
Yeah.
That's part of a living wage. If you want it to be non-government, you have to make sure that people have a living wage for their work.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're just going to end up with people dying in the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, we already have people dying in the streets. So I guess Republican mission accomplished.
Yep.
Achievement unlocked. People are dying in the streets now.
Yep.
Yep. And SNAP benefits are going to go away in like a couple days for millions of Americans.
Yep.
And in case you don't know, anyone listening, SNAP is food stamps. That's food stamps. People are going to lose their food stamps. They're not going to be able to afford food for them and their families. And people are going to starve to death if this happens. You know, I hope that it doesn't because I don't want innocent people to starve to I don't want anyone to starve to death, but especially not innocent people who are just caught up in this power grab from the Republicans trying to make sure that those at the top of these healthcare industries can continue to suck all of the wealth out of the lowest among us economically, you know, suck all the wealth from the working class and give it to the people at the top.
Yeah.
Like that's what capitalism is. Capitalism is just you take money from the poor and you give it to the rich.
Yeah.
And that's what these people really, really, really want to do. They want to make sure that as much money is taken from the poor and given to the rich as possible, which is why this guy does not want you to have a living wage. He wants to make sure that your job barely pays you enough that you're willing to go in and do it, but not enough that you have a good life or even an okay life.
Yeah.
Government regulations that make it harder for citizens to work. And I'd point out that I'm the only candidate who every week has
How does having a living wage make it harder for you to work?
Oh, because he's saying that there'd be less jobs. So you couldn't work for all the crappy jobs that don't pay you a living wage.
I mean, California has like a living minimum wage for fast food employees.
Yeah.
Like fast food employees here, I think make across the entire state, they make at least $20, and I think it's $25 in certain areas. I could have that wrong, so don't trust me on those numbers. But in California, there was huge pushback against that. You know, people were saying, you're not going to have fast food anymore because all the fast food companies aren't going to be able to afford to operate and pay their employees that much money. Guess what?
Still fast food?
There is still fast food in California.
Yeah.
Not a
I bet you
single
can
one
even
around
order it
me
on an
has-
app.
Yep.
Have it delivered straight to your door.
Not a single one around me has closed. In fact, I think more have opened since
Yeah.
that law passed.
Wow.
Because it's actually good to pay your employees a living wage. And it might
Yep.
raise prices a little bit. You know, your burrito that used to cost $7 might now cost $7.50. But you know
Right.
what? That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Because that means that the guy making your burrito probably isn't doing it while on death's doorstep.
Right.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Veiled policy positions, including on child health care, providing opportunities, tax credits for people who need them. It's called the Read Revolution. I hope you'll go online and take a look at the proposals that I've issued.
Tax credits
It's his
for
debate. He
billionaires.
could just tell us his proposals. Like,
Yep.
he's
he's
controlling
debating
all of
himself.
this. This is just something he made up. He could just, say his proposals.
Yeah, I want him to like look at the monitor and be like, "Would you like to respond?" And the monitor just sits there like, it's like, "See, my opponent won't even respond.
That's right.
My opponent is only 1080p resolution, not even 4K."
That's right.
Shoot, I think you will find them to be reasonable and responsible. They won't break the bank. And most importantly, they will inspire business people to come to Virginia and grow their economies, grow their businesses, and increase jobs rather than.
Didn't he just say that Virginia was like the 5th best like state for work for companies or something?
Uh,
Like earlier in the debate.
yeah, I think that was the moderator. Maybe
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I can't remember.
That's still basically him. He's running this whole thing.
True.
Programs that will crush job opportunities in the Commonwealth.
One matter specifically that could affect Virginia's competitiveness in the market is what is commonly referred to as right to work.
Oh, now the moderator was on the monitor.
Oh, was he?
Podium.
Oh, yes. Oh, shit. Your opponent changed. Now he's debating an AI avatar of a moderator. Okay.
That's right.
What is that yellow thing there?
I don't know.
Is that the
Right.
monitor stand? Is that a controller? Is this a PlayStation
no.
5? Is he debating a PlayStation 5?
I don't know.
Market is what is commonly referred to as right to work. By this policy, workers do not have to join a union or organized labor group for the sake of employment. At present, Virginia is a right to
So what it means is that unions are not allowed to write contracts with a business saying that all of the new employees have to join the union. So he's
Right.
almost right.
Yeah.
If there is no union at a business, you can still work there and not have to join a union.
Right. So the employee doesn't have to join the union, right? So new employees aren't forced to join the union. They don't have to pay dues, but the union still has to cover like for, them. They have to fight for their rights. All employees, not just the union employees.
Yeah. So it's basically a way of
it's
like,
widely considered like a union busting kind of
yeah.
law.
Yeah, it is a union busting law. It's specifically made to reduce the power of unions so that unions go away. Because Republicans also hate collective bargaining because it gives
Right.
power to the workers. And
Right.
Republicans don't want power to be in the hands of the workers. They want power to be in the hands of the capitalists that run the business. They want to give
Right.
tax breaks to the capitalists. They want the workers to be barely scraping by or just dying.
Yeah.
This to me is so obviously anti-worker. Everything that he's said so far, I don't want you to have a living wage. I don't want unions to be able to fight for you. I don't want you to have health care. I don't want you to have child care. I want companies to be able to pollute everything around you. Like, how is this not so obviously like he just He's on the side of billionaires. Period.
Yeah.
He's not on the workers' side.
Right.
And it's not just him. It's like almost all politicians in the Republican Party are this way. They're on the side of big business. They hate workers.
Right.
Or
they want
maybe they don't hate workers, but they are completely apathetic to the needs of the workers.
Yeah. Well, they want like laissez-faire economics, right? They don't want any government intrusion unless it has to do with like unions, because if it was true laissez-faire economics, then unions should be able to create whatever contracts they want with the company, and employees should be able to organize without interference from the government at the very least, So yeah, but no, that would be anti-corporation, so an anti-billionaire. So they don't want that.
Yep. Yeah. Brutal capitalism for the working class. Wonderful socialism for the billionaire class.
Yeah.
Yep.
Work state. Would you be in favor of repealing right to work? Yes or no? Senator Hashmi?
We support all efforts to repeal right to work. States that don't have right to work laws generally offer better working conditions and outcomes for employees.
Mm-hmm.
In Virginia, right to work restrictions affect wages, benefits, and overall job quality. Many workers and most of the general public don't understand how labor laws are central to better economic outcomes. As lieutenant governor, I will always push for legislative changes for workers' rights.
So how's he going to argue with that?
Yeah. I mean, I know how he's going to argue with it. He's going to say, well, you as the worker should have the right to work. But right to work is a terrible name. It sounds so good for the worker. You have the right to work. It sounds so nice. It sounds like something you should want if you're a worker.
Right.
But it's bad for you as the worker. It's bad for you. It's a restriction on your power.
Yeah.
It is a restriction on, like, not your power as an individual, but your power as part of the working class. It is a restriction on the power of the working class.
Yeah.
So they really should call it. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say it should be called right to work for, sub-living wage, or you're fired.
I was going to call it right to die.
Right to die. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you have the right to give everything you have to the economy and get nothing for it.
Right.
Mr. Reed.
Senator Hashmi says that the general public doesn't understand labor law. It's clear that she doesn't understand economics. And when she's advocating doing away with the right to work.
I mean, she just said states without right to work laws have better job outcomes.
Yep.
Higher wages, better living standard, better job safety, just better conditions for the working class.
Yeah.
How does she not understand economics? That's true. That's just fact.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that your feelings are hurt by that fact, Mr. Reed, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that fact just rustles your jimmies, but you can't argue that knowing that fact is wrong. Like it just is one.
Yeah.
Work, she is advocating crushing the working class in Virginia. How do I know this? Her own party used to.
So, again, there are states without right to work laws. Is the working class crushed in those states? No, it's better. It's doing better than the working class in Virginia.
She just said specifically that.
Yeah.
He's just no, I don't believe what she said on her website, that what we made her say,
But if we do the same thing that state does, our outcome will be so much worse because our people are called Virginians, and that is a difference between them and those other people from those other states. They're called something else.
Right.
See, that's that's the whole difference here is what we call the people of our state, and that
Right.
dictates the outcome of laws because
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
Agree. Chuck Robb, Jerry Beliles, Doug Wilder, even Mark Warner and Tim Kaine, all Democrat governors, advocated for the right to work, which means that the worker decides whether they join a union.
Yes, that is true that Democrats have argued for right to work as well, because a lot of Democrats are in the pocket of big business too.
Yeah.
That is a problem. That is a problem
Yeah.
in the United States. That
Right.
our politicians are anti-union. They want to bust up unions because unions give power to the working class.
Yeah.
So any Democrat who does not want to do that, does not want to implement right to work laws, has my vote.
Yeah.
Or not. It means that the worker decides whether money is taken out of their paycheck and siphoned off to the labor union, which, by the way, then goes to some nefarious political activities that many people
Like helping you.
Yeah. All these nefarious political activities of helping you out and, advocating for your well-being.
Yeah, bargaining for higher wages for you.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like, would you like to get 100% of $80? Or would you like to get only 90% of $100?
Yeah. Really.
See, one, you're getting 100%, the whole thing, all of it. The other,
Yeah.
you're only getting 90%. That's
That's
less
right.
than 100%. That's
right.
That's a smaller percentage. Therefore, you want
Yeah.
the higher percentage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're Republicans. We're going to get you a higher percentage of a lower wage.
wouldn't agree with. I stand with the working people of Virginia. I want the person who goes to work every day to make that decision for themselves. That's important for the working people. It's important for businesses. If we're bringing businesses to Virginia, the reason they're coming is not just that we have a beautiful beachfront and we have the mountains. It's because they can do business here without being dictated to by a labor boss from New Jersey. And Senator Hashmi is advocating changing that law to a point where no one will want to come to Virginia, and we will lose.
Yeah. No one will want to come to Virginia because wages will just be so high. Gosh. Could you
Yeah.
imagine? What a horrible world where like you go to work and like you're paid well.
That's right.
God.
You're paid a living wage.
Sounds terrible. No, we want to make sure that everyone who comes to Virginia is coming because they want a low wage.
That's right.
We want the lowest wages in the entire country. Come
Yeah.
to Virginia. Eat your breadcrumbs.
And pay them so little that they can't leave.
Yep. Come to Virginia, eat your breadcrumbs, get sick, and die. That's Mr. Reed's slogan.
That's right.
Businesses to Tennessee, which, by the way, doesn't have an income tax. So we're giving up the number one reason that businesses come to Virginia, the northernmost state with the right to work. And
I mean, the thing is, businesses can still make a profit when a union is able to bargain for the workers' rights.
Yeah.
The profit might not be as high, but they can still make a profit. So why would you, as a business, go, well, we can't make as high a profit over there than we can here, so we're going to refuse to expand over there and just stay here. Like, that doesn't make business sense. You want to expand to every market where you can make a profit.
Right.
So what he's saying just makes no fucking sense.
Right.
There are people in Virginia, so there is profit to be made as a business.
Yeah. Lots of people in
a
Virginia.
reckless and irresponsible decision. I suspect that Senator Hashmi actually knows that, and her friends at the labor unions will reward her. Hashmi actually knows that. And
why is it cutting to a still image of her? That's so weird.
No idea.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Labor unions will reward her for this position that she's taking. I will always stand with the working people of Virginia.
Another economic
Against the labor unions? Like,
Yeah.
what?
I will always stand with the working people of Virginia to lower their wages.
That's right.
We want to make sure you, as the worker, have the lowest wage you can.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
you go to the store, we want to make sure that you get the cheapest breadcrumbs you can. And we want to make sure that your boss gets more money.
That's right.
Come to Virginia, eat breadcrumbs, get sick, die.
Now, Virginia employers must pay employees no less than $12.41 per hour. Are you for increasing the minimum wage? Why or why
Oh
not?
my God. Could you imagine trying to live off $12.41 an hour?
Yeah. That's
awful.
that's what, like less than $25,000 a year?
Yeah, like that buys what? 20 eggs roughly?
Yeah.
Work for an hour and afford 20 eggs.
Well, you can't even like buy any meal at a restaurant for that much, right?
I don't think so. Like I think you could buy a Big Mac meal at McDonald's.
Okay.
That's about the price of a Big Mac. Or 2 cans of breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Come to Virginia, eat breadcrumbs, get sick, die.
Die. Yeah.
And if so, to what? Senator Hashmi?
I
15?
support raising the minimum wage to at least $15 and establishing
Yep.
an alignment of wages with inflation and cost.
So I disagree with her on this. $15 is not enough.
It's still really low. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you take the federal minimum wage from the early 2000s and you adjust it for the price of inflation only, just inflation, it would be around, I think it's $22 or $24, somewhere around there.
Really?
Yeah. But if you also track it against productivity, the increase in productivity in the United States, it would be somewhere around $30.
Okay.
So $15 means you are making less than your parents.
Yeah.
The current minimum wage is way less than your parents were making.
Yeah.
So you, as a person working now, say you're a millennial like me and you're working now, you are making less than your parents were at the same time if you're on minimum
Yeah.
wage and they were too. Yep, wages have gone down and you're working harder and making less than them.
Yeah.
And you can't afford a house like they could.
Yep.
And you can't get good health care like they could.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
cost of living. I have championed efforts to increase the minimal wage and supported legislation to eliminate minimal wage exemptions. When
Good.
workers receive a living wage, those dollars go back into the community, supporting small businesses and entrepreneurs.
So that's the biggest part that a lot of Republicans refuse to grapple with is when you increase the minimum wage, the people making the minimum wage pay that money back into the community. When you
Yep.
decrease taxes on billionaires, billionaires hoard money.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
They usually
Billionaires
buy
don't-
things. The billionaires buy things that hold their value. So they're buying from things from other billionaires, basically millionaires and billionaires that just sit there.
Yep. Yeah, they buy assets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor people buy consumables, rich people buy assets.
Yeah. I mean, rich people still buy like consumables, but you can only consume so much, right? Like they're not buying like a ton of consumables. They only buy a bit more than what, poor people buy.
Yeah, and since Reagan,
Overall.
Republicans' arguments has been we need to make sure billionaires have more money so that money goes back into the economy.
Except it
But
doesn't.
it just doesn't fucking work. The rich keep
Yeah.
getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer.
And we've had decades of of this experiment, right?
Yep.
And has proven not to work.
Yep.
I mean, it started before Reagan. They were trying to pull this trickle down theory, right? It was just Reagan that gave it that name, and made it widely known, right? But it's failed the entire time.
Yep. So, I mean, it's just basic like elementary school level economics, that if you give poor people, if you give people on the bottom rung more money, that money goes back into the community and stimulates the economy. That is a way to improve the economy. Like, it might not improve the factors that people on the news talk about the economy. You know, they talk about like, oh, the Dow is doing really well, therefore the economy is good. It's like, okay, yeah, but people are starving in the streets. So no, the economy is not good.
Yeah.
Like the measurement that I value when I'm talking about the economy is, can the person making the minimum wage afford to live?
Right.
Is that a living wage? Do they have enough money to get by if an emergency happens? You know, if their car breaks down, are they going to lose their job? If they get sick, are they just going to fucking die? If they lose their food stamps, are they going to starve to death? You know, those are the things that I actually care about. We don't even need food stamps. We just need a living wage.
Right.
You know, we need a wage that you can get by on comfortably, that's guaranteed to be the minimum wage that you would get when you enter the workforce. That's what we need. Like, food stamps would still help, but you wouldn't have 40 million people in the U.S. on food stamps. More than 10% of the population is on food stamps. More than 10% of the population of the United States can't even afford food.
Wow.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, how do people say United States is the greatest country in the world if 10% of our population can't even afford to eat? Isn't that embarrassing to people?
Yeah.
It should be. That should be so embarrassing that your country claims to be so great and can't even take care of all of its population, can't even feed its population. Yeah. And it's not that we can't. We could. We just won't.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Reed.
The microphone.
Well, Senator Hashmi recognizes that money that's paid to workers does fuel the economy. But what she would actually be doing by raising the minimum wage to $15, and many in her party are saying $20 or $25 an hour, is kill jobs once again.
Okay, yes, I'm okay with those jobs dying. If you run a business that can't get by unless you pay your workers a slave wage, your business shouldn't be around.
Yep.
Your business is a failure.
Yeah.
Like, anyone can run a business if they don't have to pay their workers. Anyone.
Yep.
That's not the way the United States should work. We shouldn't want those businesses. They're bad businesses. Why do Republicans always like fight for these businesses that just fucking suck?
Yeah.
Like,
because they're owned by billionaires that just give them money.
Yep. Amazon shouldn't be able to run if they're paying their workers a wage that they have to have government assistance in order to get by.
Yeah.
You know, McDonald's shouldn't be able to run if they're essentially have like wage slaves.
Yeah.
How is that reasonable to anyone?
Don't know.
We're dealing with people, Senator Hashmi, with all due respect, who have no clue about how a business works and no understanding of economics. This sounds like a very good idea if you're economically illiterate.
Like, fuck this guy for saying that. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not economically illiterate. There are plenty of places in the world that guarantee that their workers have a minimum wage and they're just have a livable wage and they're doing just fine. Like,
Yeah.
fuck this guy for saying, no, those places don't exist. They're not real. They're fake. What
I
you
was gonna
heard
point
about
out
all
that-
those other countries where people can get by for working 40 hours a week, those are fake places. Fuck you,
So I want
man.
to point out that we're both business owners
Yeah.
on here. Like we know a little bit about economics.
And I would never hire a worker that would have to, like, the wage that I pay them would require them to go and get government assistance just to afford food.
Yeah.
If I did do that, I would consider myself a failed businessman.
Yeah.
So, like, this guy arguing that we need more of those businesses. We need businesses that refuse to pay their workers a living wage. Fuck this guy.
Right.
Fuck you. That's not how America should work.
Yep.
That is not a country that I would want to live in.
Yeah.
And it's not a country that anyone should want to live in. Even a fucking billionaire shouldn't want to live in that country. Because you know
Yeah.
what? If you're a billionaire and you pay your workers a non-livable wage, you're a shitty business owner.
Yep.
Raising the minimum wage would cost low-income workers their positions. The young man who pops the popcorn at the movie theater would lose that job. The popcorn would then be imported to the movie theater. There would
What the fuck is he talking about? No, it wouldn't. It would just cost a little more. And you know what? People could afford it because they have
Yeah.
jobs that give them a livable wage. That's what actually happens when you raise the minimum wage.
Yeah.
Like, everything this guy is fear-mongering about what happens when you raise the minimum wage is just fucking untrue. It's always been untrue. Every place that has raised the minimum wage to a livable wage proves that it's untrue.
Yep.
be no position for this individual. So this is another really foolish idea that has the potential to crush those who are just beginning in the workforce or trying to move their way up the ladder and try to work to a better wage. And I'm so distressed that Senator
So we just
continues to propose-
giving them a better wage is not good because they want to work to get a better wage. That
Right?
what?
Yeah, we want to make sure that if you're a high school student who's just starting out in the workforce, we want to make sure that you make as little as possible. That's the
Yeah.
Republican dream.
So you could work for more wages to get a higher wage.
Yeah, make sure that when you make $1 for your boss, you only get a penny of that.
Yeah.
We want
And,
to make sure that the wealth that you produce goes only to the top, not to
Right.
you.
Right. And that you can't live off any of that money that you make.
Yep.
Not nearly enough.
ideas that have been tried in other places that have cost thousands
Remember, this guy's slogan, come to Virginia, eat breadcrumbs, get sick, die.
Die. That's right.
of people their jobs, including in California, where one of the basic
Not true.
jobs, no offense to anyone who works in fast food, now all of those positions in California have been replaced by computer terminals.
No, they haven't. What the fuck is he talking about? They haven't been replaced by computer terminals. They were computer terminals already before the law passed. Like, I
Yeah.
live in California. I know when those terminals started. And second, there's still people at the front.
Yep.
Those terminals are optional. You can still
Yeah.
go to the front. There's a register in every fast food place. You can still go to the front and order. And most people go through the drive-through, and there's no terminals at the drive-through. You're talking to a real person. Taco Bell
Right.
tried to put AI in the drive-through, and it failed spectacularly because you actually need a person for that job. AI can't do that job.
Right.
And I'm sorry that this guy thinks that, you know, if you are forced to pay someone a livable wage, you're just going to replace them with a computer. When in reality, billionaires want to replace people with computers anyway. Computers just can't do the job of humans.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they can. Like, people like me are fine going through that terminal, but like a lot of people aren't. A lot of people
Right.
struggle with those terminals. And you know what I've seen being someone living in California? those terminals make customers mad.
Yeah.
Every time I've been in one of those fast food places where there were multiple people at the terminals, everyone using them was mad.
Yeah.
I get mad at them because they're fucking annoying. So I go to the front and talk to a person.
Yeah. I haven't been. I don't go to fast food places very often. I do occasionally, and I don't think I've been to one that's had one of those terminals. Maybe ever. I don't know. Just because I don't go very often. I go so rarely.
Yeah. There's a Suabway down by Petco Park, and they put up terminals. They have like 4 terminals at the beginning, and then the people making the sandwich are still there.
Yeah.
They're not robots making the sandwich. Now you just have to order the sandwich from the terminal instead of talking to the fucking person making your sandwich. It doesn't save anyone any time. No, you still, the worker still has to make your sandwich. Now they just have to read a receipt instead of talking to you. And now you have to poke around on a screen for 5 minutes before they can start making your sandwich. It just wastes everyone's time. Everyone at the front is fucking mad about it. And I see people walk in, look at the terminals, see that there's a person at every single terminal, and leave. So I can't imagine that Suabway is doing more business now that they've replaced talking to people with terminals. That's the thing. They haven't replaced the people with the terminals. The people are still there. They've replaced talking to people with the terminals.
Yeah, and that's really what people want is, replace talking to people, to other people, and being forced to interact with computers.
Yep.
Which often have a really bad interface.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, if Suabway could replace the actual people with a sandwich robot, they would, regardless of how much they have to pay the person. They would still replace them with a robot. The thing is,
well, any day now, they're all going to be Tesla Optimus robots.
And then I would never eat there. Or I'd just go up to it and be like, I'd like 1,000 tomatoes on my sandwich. And just watch the robot keep on piling more and more tomatoes on. And then as soon as it's done, I'd be like, you know what, never mind. And I'd leave.
Never mind.
Coming anyway, but there's no reason for us to push for that to happen sooner and faster. Let's give workers an opportunity.
So the thing is, it's going to happen regardless. And what he's saying is there's no reason for us to make sure that workers can live before they get replaced by robots. Yeah. Which he's betting on that workers are going to be replaced by robots. I don't think they are. Robots are fucking stupid.
Somebody just rang my doorbell, so I'm going to go check that out if that's okay.
Yeah.
You can keep talking about it. I have no idea what's going on.
I'll probably rant about the next thing this guy says.
To start with an entry-level job and continue to grow their way in the business economy of Virginia. Senator Hashmi clearly doesn't understand it. Once again, I will stand up for the working people and the working families of Virginia.
So he says he wants people to start at an entry-level job and then work their way up. Well, guess what? An entry-level job should be enough to live on. How are you going to work your way up if you can't live on an entry-level job? Like, he wants people with entry-level jobs to be barely functioning. And I don't. I want people with entry-level jobs to actually be able to live a normal life, a comfortable life. Be able to afford food, to be able to afford medical care, to be able to afford to go buy an Xbox once in a while. I want people with an entry-level job to not be on death's doorstep. That's the way you actually get people to work their way up from an entry-level job. You don't just make it so that they're barely able to live, even if they're working 2 jobs a week, working 70 hours a week, just barely able to live and support their families.
Yeah.
In 2021, the Democrat-led Virginia General Assembly, and
that's another thing about this. Whenever they say like Republicans do this all the time. They say Democrat instead of Democratic.
Yeah.
They say like the Democrat candidate or the Democrat policies instead of Democratic, which is the adjective form of Democrat. Like a Democrat is someone belonging to the Democratic Party, but it's the Democratic Party, not the Democrat Party.
Yeah. But they don't want to say that.
Yeah, they like to use the word Democrat because I guess it sounds like a slur to them. It just sounds wrong to me.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, the doorbell was just somebody put a political flyer thing on my doorknob. You want to guess who it was from?
Was it from DeSantis?
No, it was not. It was not actual specific like candidate. It was Americans for Prosperity, which is one of those like far right PACs. I believe is a PAC, right?
Yeah.
They want me to go online and take a survey. Yeah, fucking right.
Yep.
Then Democrat Governor Ralph Northam decreed that Virginia would follow the California-based
He said Democratic. Huh.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
electric vehicle mandate, whereby all vehicles sold in Virginia must be zero emission by 2035.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, that does sound good. I think we're going to stop it here because this one's getting long. But
yeah.
And we're literally not even 13 minutes into the video.
Well, everything he said was wrong. You had to
it was
argue with him.
This was just so the Democrat here was not able to respond to anything he said, which is exactly how he designed this debate. I mean, this was literally just a speech. It was not a debate. It was a speech. It was a political speech.
Yep.
But he made it look like a debate. That is nice that he put it in quotes.
Yeah.
Because it's not a debate. This was a political speech, a publicity stunt mostly.
Yep.
And I guess it worked. I mean, I've seen a lot of big news networks talking about this. But I really hope that this does not catch on because this was really disgusting.
Yep.
But I'm sure it will because Republicans love to do disgusting political stunts.
Yeah, they do.
So, yep.
And he got a lot of attention for it, so probably more people are going to do it.
But yeah, basically, this guy is so anti-working class, it fucking hurts, and he's trying so hard to give the window dressings of someone who is pro-working class, and it's just every single policy that he's advocating for is anti-working class.
Yeah.
It would hurt the working class. It would make working conditions worse in Virginia. It would make people struggle more to get by rather than less. So I really hope that his opponent wins this election because it's just, this guy is real shitty. John Reed is real shitty. Could not disagree with him more on economics. And the fact that he was like talking down, saying like, oh, well, you don't understand economics. And he was saying things that were just blatantly false and have been proven false over the past 50 fucking years as people have struggled more and more to get by based on policies just like his.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck this guy. Fuck John Reed. You suck.
Yep.
Don't ever do that again because that was disgusting. Faking a debate with an AI voice. That's really gross.
Yeah.
Just exceptionally shitty behavior and very unbecoming of a politician, but par for the course for Republicans, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're going to close it out here. Don't forget to like the channel and subscribe to the video. And if you'd like to buy my cute little merch, you can do that at icecreamonahotdog.com. And if you'd like to support my actual business, you can do that at port87.com. It is the best email you can get. Your email sucks. You should be using Port87 instead. And very soon, I'm going to really drastically improve the search speed in Port 87. Right now, if you search for just a word, it takes a few seconds to load the emails. And I'm working on a system, like a new index type in the database that's going to make that search feature be like way less than a second. Like lately, I've been testing it, and the query runs in 0.017 seconds compared to 0.23 seconds for the old query. So a major speed up, more than 10 times improvement, which I know it's a small thing, but it is nice when you're just searching for something like receipt or something in the search box for that to come up really quickly. So yeah, look out for that. That's coming to port87.com, and go and sign up and enjoy an awesome email experience. Anyway, if you'd like to check out our other shows, you can do that at echoplexmedia.com. Again, don't forget to like the channel and subscribe to the video, and we will see you next week.